Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today this is Simride by P. I'm so happy to have you back. Today we are going to learn how to add our seam allowances and close up our bust darts. Thank you very much for your subscriptions, and if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive more videos like this. I'll also be dropping the link on how this pattern is made on the description box below. So for this pattern today, for the seam allowances we are going to add, we'll be needing the following items. You'll be needing a fresh pattern paper, marker pen, tracing wheel, ruler, pencil, paper, scissors, your tape, then a masking tape to hold this pattern in place on this fresh pattern paper. So the first thing we are going to do is to draw a vertical line, two vertical lines. This is CF, that's your center front and your center back. Now we are going to place our pattern on this line, and you make sure that the pattern is exactly on the line. Then with our masking tape, now I've already placed my front bodies on the fresh pattern paper. So the next thing we are going to do is to use our tracing wheel to trace these darts, as you can see. Then with your tracing wheel, you go over to your bust dart, and we are also going to trace our bust darts, as you can see. And then we are going to transfer these bodies with our marker, as you can see. Coming to the armhole, you are going to use your pattern master, as you can see. Or your French curve. Now I've transferred my waist dart with my tracing wheel to the fresh pattern paper, and my bust dart also I've transferred it, and the whole bodies is all transferred to the bodice paper. So now we are going to add our seam allowance. So we are going to tape out the body sloper. So I'm going to redraw the bust dart that has already been traced. Sorry, the waist dart that has already been traced, and the bust dart too, as you can see. So I'm going to divide my bust dart, which is 2 inches, into two. I'll be having 1 inch. With my ruler, I'm going to connect it down to the point. And for the waist dart also, which is 1.5, I'll be dividing it into two, that is by 3/4 inch. Then I'll also take it up to the point. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to change my marker to another color so that you will see the seam allowance. Now to my neckline, I'm going to take 0.5 inch this way from the center front of the neckline, 0.5. And at this point where the shoulder seam meets the neckline, you place your tape and mark 0.5. And on that point, you also place your tape again to the direction of the seam line and you mark 0.5. So I'm going to use a broken line so that you see it clearly. Then on the shoulder seam, we also place our tape this way and take 0.5. And from this point, you also mark your 0.5. So after marking 0.5 on the armhole, then you can use your pattern master or your French curve to connect this line. Then for the side seam, I'm going to take 1 inch to join my side. So I've drawn my side seam now, but from this point I have to stop here and also stop here because I'm going to place my ruler this way on the bust dart and extend this bust dart. I'm also going to extend it this way and again and extend this way. Okay, and now I'm going to line. As you can see how I placed my ruler, I need to get a straight line touching this point here and here. So in order to accommodate this dart when you are sewing it, so I'm going to take from this point, I'm going to take 0.75, that is 3/4 of an inch. Just look at how I'm going to connect it. From this point, I'll connect to this point, then I'll take it back to this point so that by the time you have joined your bust darts, you will not have any shortage. It's going to accommodate it this way. Okay, so now we'll move over to our waistline. So to the waistline, we are going to take 0.5 inch, that is half an inch all through. As you can see, I've added 0.5 inch on the waistline, and you can see the same thing I did on the bust dart. I'm going to do that on the waistline. So now on the waist dart, I'm going to join these lines. I'm going to make an extension of 0.5. So I'm going to place my ruler this way and make a mark. Then from that point, I'm going to measure 0.5 inch, and now I'll connect with my ruler to accommodate the waist dart also. Now you can notice that I'm not adding any seam allowance on the center front because I'm going to cut it in fold, so I'm not going to join. When I'll be cutting it on my fabric, it's going to be folded, so we are not adding any seam allowance. So guys, this is the how you add your seam allowance on your front bodice. This is your front bodice. So you are going to place it on your fabric, and with your scissors you are going to cut this way on the red mark. That is why I use a different marker here. Okay, so we are going to go over to the back bodies. So guys, for the back bodies, we are still going to place our back bodies exactly on this vertical line, as you can see. Now I've finished holding my back bodies in place on top of the pattern paper. Now I'm going to take 0.5 inch, 0.5 inch, 0.5 inch, and on the same side 1 inch, and then for the waistline I'm going to take 0.5 inch also, and on the zip allowance 1 inch. Then I'm going to extend my dart to accommodate it by 0.5 inch, just the same way we did here. So I finished adding my seam allowances all through. Now for the dart, remember I traced. I'm going to trace again. So I finished tracing my waist darts for the back. Now I'm going to pull. So I'm going to connect this line down to the seam allowance like so. Then I'm going to extend this center one from this point 0.5 inch to accommodate the dart when sewing. So I finished tracing. As you can see, I finished added my seam allowance 0.5, 0.5, 1 inch all the way. Now I extended my zipper allowance line by 1 inch. From this point of the center back, I'm extending 1 inch, and again from this point also I'll be extending 1 inch. Now because the human bag is not as straight as this, so we are going to contour. I'm going to take 1 inch from the waistline. Sorry, I'm going to take 0.5 inch inwards from this body, as you can see. And now I'm going to connect with my ruler to the shoulder line of the bodice. I'm working on the bodice, not yet on the seam allowance. So with my ruler, with my marker, I'm using the green marker now because I'm still on the bodice. I'm going to connect this line to 0.5. Now you can see I've drawn my line. Now I'm going to, from this center back with my red marker, I'm going to take 0.5 also. Now I'm going to connect this 0.5 to the neckline, that's the neck seam allowance, as you can see. Now before you transfer to your fabric, you are going to follow the red line all the way. You are going to cut it off, but I'm not going to cut this one off now. But when you are doing it, you are using this pattern, I want you to cut from the red line, as you can see. Now for the dart, for the bust dart, you might decide to sew in these 2 inches, but to avoid the bulkiness, I will advise you to add 0.5. Now let me show you what you will do if you want to cut off. Now we are going to take 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, then we'll come over here. So after marking this, you connect your 0.5 seam. That is if you are cutting it out. So that is it, guys. If you want to fold it in, you can do that. If you still want to cut off because of the bulkiness, then you need to follow this red line and cut it off. Okay, so for the rest, you can hold them on your fabric. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Please, if you are new to this channel, I always upload video every week. Please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell to receive more videos like this. I'm going to drop the drafting of these bodies on the description box below. So for these bodies, as you can see, there is no pattern, there is no seam allowance, so this is a sloper when there is no seam allowance. But now that we've added our seam allowances, this is a pattern. So we are done with the basic bodice pattern now. Thank you guys for watching. See you next week.